Hello tech friends, today we're going to look at the game Spiritual Warfare. And what a game, look at that box art. You play that guy and I'd say he's a little underdressed for the task he's going to need to complete. Look at all the things around him. There's a barking dog. Who's this scary guy down here? But look, there's an angel, a couple of angels there to help out. This game was released in about 1992-93, depending on which platform you're looking at, on Nintendo, on the entertainment system. It was on PC as well. I think there's a Genesis copy, possibly even Game Boy. This thing was all over. But this was created by the company Wisdom Tree, and they weren't too keen on the whole Nintendo lockout chip scenario. So prior to being the company Wisdom Tree, they were the company Color Dreams, and they tried to get games out there, but because they weren't licensed properly by Nintendo, they had a bit of a struggle getting them into the old shops. But when they changed their name to Wisdom Tree and they started to focus on the Christian and religious market, they discovered they could put these games into Christian bookshops and other places which weren't typically where you'd go to buy computer games. So they kind of basically had no competition at that point. The company released a few different games, and I've got a few of them, and we can try them out at some point. But today we're just going to look at Spiritual Warfare. But just so you know, the other games that they released are Bible Adventures, Exodus, King of Kings, The Early Years. That is such a good title. Joshua and the Battle of Jericho, Spiritual Warfare, Bible Buffet, King James Bible, Super 3D Noah's Ark, Sunday Funday, NIV Bible, Heaven Bound, and possibly the greatest one that we can see here is Jesus in Space. Unfortunately, I don't have Jesus in Space, but maybe one day. I have a particular interest in this game, and that's because this is the first, and I would say only game, that my parents ever bought me. So we got a PC, kind of 1993 sort of time, and my mum could see that I was playing games like Doom and, I don't know, Quarantine and Carmageddon and generally violent things like that. And so she sought out something a little bit more wholesome, and this is the result. It's Spiritual Warfare, and we're going to play the game on DOS. I did own this game back in 1993, of course, as I've explained, but I don't have it now, so I've had to buy it. But it's on Steam, great, and you can buy it for about £2 or £3, and it comes with a bunch of the other games that I've just listed there as well. So we're going to try out Spiritual Warfare. Before we start it, though, I will just tell you this interesting. Before we start, though, I will tell you that this game introduced me to the world of piracy. How is that possible? Well, this game has got a copy protection on it, or at least it did have in the old version, where you'd be given a red card, and which you couldn't photocopy, and it would have these codes on there, and when you started up the game it would ask you to type in a code at a particular location. Well, a friend of mine borrowed this game, they played it, they liked it, they copied it, and I had to copy out the copy protection for them bit by bit so that they could play the game, because they kind of found it a bit addictive. How could this game be addictive? It shouldn't be, should it? Given the moral position it obviously has. Well, let's take a look and see if you agree. I think you'll agree that is a killer soundtrack. Just this is the main menu. As you come in here, you have information about controls, so you can use the keyboard or a joystick to play this game. Now you can use the joystick, and I've connected the Xbox controller to it, but there are some special keys that you have to press on the keyboard to do anything, so you can't just play it with the joystick. We can load a game. We've got sound there as well. Well, let me just show you what it's like when you kick this game off in the first place. Here we are. Let's have a little look at this interface. Again, enjoy the music. It's basically non-stop throughout the entire game. On the top bar, we have got health. We've got 3 health containers at the moment. Heart containers, I should say, but you can get loads more in the game. We've got the location that we're in. We're currently in the park. We've got our score, big fat 0. On the left-hand side, we've got these sort of dove points, which act as the in-game currency. Below that, we've got a vial, which is a... I can walk over here and pick one of these up, actually. And these are little bombs that you can drop. So I'll drop one of those, and we'll watch it explode. There he goes. And then we've got keys here, and you'll need a few of those to get around the game, unlock certain areas and things like that. Then this section down here, it says fruit. Every game's got a fruit section, right? It's like a greengrocer's in here. We've got a pear, that's an apple. I forget what that one is. Those are grapes, and that's a banana. And these act as your weapons in the game. So we don't have guns, we've got fruits, and we're going to throw them at people. Wait till you see what happens when you throw fruit at people. But at the minute, we don't have any. And then under here, we've got special items. So the vial is highlighted here, but you can get loads of other things that get unlocked as you find them in the game. And then this section down here is Armor of God. And these are the things that you're going to get when you defeat certain bosses in the game, of which I think there are 6 or so. And then you have to defeat an enormous demon at the end of the game. And how do we get around? Well, we use the map. So we're in the section of the park here, and that's what this red one is here. We're in cell 1, 2, and we'll move around, and you can see these sort of areas kind of connect to each other, and we'll have to defeat a boss in pretty much every one of these sections. So I'll just show you what happens when you attack someone, but first we'll need something to attack with. I say attack, I mean convert. Let's walk up through here, through the door. This is very much like your Zelda, it's not safe, take this moment. You found the pear. It's your first fruit of the spirit. In your weapon arsenal, use the spacebar or joystick button 1 to throw it. Yoink! Thank you very much, Angel. We'll probably be seeing you a little bit later because there's another interesting game mechanic that occurs when he follows you around at certain moments in the game. So we've got our pear. Can we throw it? We sure can. Doesn't have a great distance on it, and it goes at quite a rapid pace, and all the different fruits do lots of different speed things. If we go down here, oh look, there's some ne'er-do-wells in the park. What are they up to? They look like they've got knives and goatees. Well, you know, never trust a man with a knife and a goatee. I think that's fair enough. Look what happens when I throw a pear at one of them, though. They turn into a guy who's praying. Oh, and look, that one's released a demon. Beep. We got the demon, and we've picked up 5 of those little dove points there, which we can use to buy different things in the game. Let's pick up some more of those vials. Excellent. This guy's spinning around. Oh, he's got a demon too, and that's taken a chunk out of my health. Now, interestingly, you don't really suffer too much of a penalty if you die in this game, because it's so nice and friendly, which is great. But it does mean that if I just die because I'm getting attacked by this guy, come back here, Mr. Knife Dude. There he goes. I cry a little bit. It says you've run out of health. Do you want to continue? Yes, please. I'm back in exactly the same place. And it looks like I've got the same amount of health. But you only ever come back with 3 full health containers. So you can have got all the health power-ups you like, but you'll only get back with 3. And that can be a bit of a problem later on in the game as things get a little bit tough and you just die over and over and over again. You can save the game if you hit F3. You can load a game if you hit F2 in one of the many different save slots. So it's pretty decent. I'm not sure whether that function was possible on the NES version. Probably not. But this is the DOS one, so we get the premium experience. Now, if I just walk around for a little bit, I'll show you one of the cool features where you can meet an angel who's going to help us. Oh, there's a girl who's telling us that we can get that raft, which we need for later on in the game. But not right now. Sorry, young lady. We've got work to do. Let's just take care of a few of these guys. He's got a club. I mean, these people in the park, they seem okay, but you shouldn't approach these strangers. Let's have a little look. Okay, take this one out. Oh, I keep missing him. Hold still. Let's go through here. So you can see it's very much like Zelda, isn't it? You know? Here we go. Ah, look, here's the angel I was talking about. Come over here, dude. Float towards me. And now what have we got here? Well, this never happened in Zelda. Question number 1. Answer and earn 5 of those magical dove points. And who's this fella on the right? He's got a bow tie. Hey, maybe that's us. I think we look like we've got a bow tie when we're playing the game. Jesus said that God's word is... Come on, we all know that one. It's truth, right? Smiley face. And then question 2. Let's get through 5 of these. And you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Come on, we all know these. These are classics. These get very difficult later on in the game. Who said, I am the way, the truth, and the life? Come on, that's a Jesus quote. Jesus quote. Look at all my points racking up. If we say we have no sin, we deceive ourselves. True. Luckily, actually, if you have no knowledge of this sort of stuff, but you like playing the game, you can look up guides that give you all the answers to these questions. Now, look, we're on question 5, and rather than just getting 5 dove points, if we get this correct, we will get 10 dove points, and we'll get 2 health hearts reimbursed, regenerated, whatever. God desired that all men be saved. Yeah, look, his bow tie spins around because he's so happy, and then it's back onto the game. Yeah, I think that is us, actually. I can see his little red bow tie there. Great. So there we go. So that's a sort of overview of the game. I will now go on and show you a bunch of the other areas in the game, because this is just the park, and I'll show you some of the bosses. So our first boss is down this set of stairs in the park. And notice how the view's changed now, and it's a sideways on view rather than top down. Now, to defeat our first boss, it's better to have a different fruit to hand. This time, the apple. Here's our first boss. He's hiding behind a rock, throwing demons out at you. And throwing the apple will vanquish him in next to no time. And for that, we are awarded the Belt of Truth, which can help you move obstacles, so physically move objects, which means that we can leave the park. So after leaving the park, which has been enabled by moving that boulder, here we are in a place where the people move incredibly quickly. This is downtown. And in downtown, we've got a few things that we'll need to be careful about. We carry on doing the same sort of thing. We're looking around, we're enjoying ourselves, but we need to avoid going to the bar. If we go to the bar, we'll lose our belt, and the belt will end up in the slums, and we'll have to go back and pick it up later. So that's a good moral message, isn't it? And the second boss is behind this door. We've got to go off and find ourselves a key, which is in here. So on our way back, we go past the bar. Don't be tempted to go in there. Whatever you do. There's a girl there. She tells you, don't go in. Stay away from bars. And here he is. He defeated me a few times. But eventually, by dropping bombs in certain places, he died. And once we've done that, we get the breastplate as a reward. The breastplate of righteousness, where our damage gets reduced by half. Fantastic. Once we're done with downtown, we end up in the new area, the slums. Oh, I mean, look at this place. It's rough. In fact, there's a dog. So it was rough. That's a terrible joke. There's not much in the slums, but you can find a torch, and you'll need that for later on. Though it is quite expensive, 150 megapoints. So after you've finished with the slums, you go to the houses area. Well, this has got to be pretty safe, hasn't it? Going to the houses area. Who's around here? Kids with spray cans, making a mess of the place. Well, we'll struggle on. There's a secret little garage in the houses. Well, that's about all there is to offer. And you can go in there, and you can purchase some grapes. Delicious. Here we are. Look at the church. After the houses, you get to the airport, which is a fairly small level. But one of the characters in the airport, it's like they've taken a leaf out of the original Grand Theft Auto, because I think those are the Hare Krishna guys, which seems a bit harsh that you're going around killing them. They seem like they're all peace and love. But no, they need to be converted, or they may die. It's worth stopping for a moment and enjoying how nice this aeroplane looks. Once you leave the airport, you end up in the warehouse district, and the difficulty does start to ramp up a little bit. Again, no real penalty for dying, and there's projectiles flying around and stuff like that. So you know, this is a dangerous area. Why should a young man be out there in the warehouses looking for work, perhaps? Okay, so boss number 3. This guy is shooting at you. And the bullets land and they'll destroy parts of the scenery, which expose ladders, which means you can get up to him. Quite hard to get him to aim at the red blocks, which is what you really need him to do. What do you get for that? Well, you get to pick up the boots. The boots shod with the preparation of the gospel will let you cross certain obstacles to your quest. And that particular area you have to traverse is some fire, which leads to the hotel district. So the hotel district's pretty straightforward. There's a casino. Obviously, you should avoid going into the casino. You don't want to go in there. It's got a lot of cars. There's this screen here is great. It's got an old lady in there who says, "Be patient, okay? Be patient." And if you wait long enough in that screen, one of the cars will move, and that'll reveal a staircase, and you can go down there and you can buy yourself a banana, which is a very powerful weapon, as I'm sure you'll agree. After you've been to the hotel district, you need to make a beeline for the shipyard. I think you can take care of most of these bosses in whatever order you like. But I'm following a guide and it's kind of telling me do them in this order because then you're going to have the right equipment at the right time. So once you're done with the shipyard, there's no boss in there. There's a few things to pick up. But you go back all the way to the park and you pick up the raft. So you grab that raft and you make your way all the way back through the shipyard to the beach. Look at all these tough guys. Most of these you can't kill. With the raft you sail around a little bit. There's some nice looking ducks on this level. That's definitely the best part about it. And then you have to take on the boss. And the boss is actually pretty tricky. You've got all of these guys who are kind of guarding the main guy at the top, who seems to be dropping balloons on you that seem to be bursting and hurting you. These guys on each level, they're throwing out barrels, which can explode if you set them to explode. But it just took me, I don't know, it took me a very long time to do it. And it's because my health was so low. And before the end of the game, I figure out something that I probably should have figured out very early on in the game, which could have helped with the whole health situation. And eventually I managed to defeat him, and that leads me to weep uncontrollably, but perhaps more importantly, it allows me to get hold of the Sword of the Spirit. This is the Sword of the Spirit. It will help you to defeat the demons in the stronghold. Press S to activate it. And of course, anytime you pick up one of the Armour of God pieces, your health replenishes. So I have got a lot of health, but there's still a couple of areas to get through before we get to this fabled demon's lair. And the next stage is the woods. Look how beautiful and pleasant and green and beautiful it is. We've got guys with bows and arrows. Everyone's having a nice time. Bits of dynamite in the forest. This makes a nice change, doesn't it? Look at the bears. They look angry. You can't kill them. They look angry. I love it. This boss keeps throwing you bombs from his collection on the left, and you need to work your way to the top of the screen and start reflecting them back at him so it destroys his supply of bombs, and then when he's run out of bombs, you've basically defeated him. Which is actually quite a novel way of killing a boss. Take away his means of destruction. What do we get for that? We get the Helmet of Salvation. It protects you from harmful explosions. Right, where are we off to next? It's to prison. And although there isn't actually someone to kill in the prison, you need to use it to get to the demon stronghold. We conclude our tour of the spiritual warfare world by finding ourselves in the demon stronghold, which is very bright and difficult to look at for a long period of time. Things are firing fireballs at you that are kind of orange. You've got demons flying around who are also orange. It's a big old maze. It's a tricky area to get through. And of course, you keep dying and you just keep coming back. But in this session, I just died over and over and over again. It was pretty bad. And of course, every time I came back, I just came back with those 3 cheeky little containers of health. And there's 2 bosses in the demon stronghold, so let's get on with them. This first one's kind of like a demon hand that's dropping these droplets of lava on you, which then turn into sort of fire demons. Perfectly normal. Just keep firing and firing and firing. That seemed to be the technique there, after repeatedly dying. And he too was vanquished. And here we go. We've got the Shield of Faith. The fiery darts will not harm you now. Well, that helps, but there are still lots of things flying at you down here in the demon's lair, so you're still going to die a lot. And then it's a very long trek to the maze to get to the final boss. And I probably spent about 45 minutes trying to take care of this dude. It took me quite a while to figure it out, even though I was following a guide which told me exactly what to do. I just wasn't reading it properly. So I would keep starting this, and I'd only have 3 health containers full, which didn't give me much of a chance to beat this boss. And I was trying over and over again. Essentially what you're supposed to do here is you fire a sword at the stone that's in front of the demon to stop it moving, so that it stops protecting him, so that you can fire things at him directly. But you need to use the sword to fire at the rock, and then you need to fire fruit at him, but only when he's flashing. Well, I've explained it to you there. It seems quite simple, but it just took me ages to figure that out. But the real trick to actually killing him was realising that this little icon in the top left-hand corner, I'd always wondered what it was. It's 2 hands that are praying, okay? And I went back and had a look through the guide, and it said, oh, press P to pray. You just got to press P to pray. It's no big deal. Just press it. What does it do? Oh, it restores your health. Sorry, what? It restores your health? Oh, great. Okay, so every time I press P to pray, I get half of my health container, one of them back, right? And it costs 10 of those magical dove points. Well, I got enough to be able to fill up my entire health bar. Brilliant. Right, that's what I did. I filled it all the way up, and then I saved it, and then I just kept reloading that. Is that cheating? Is that cheating? Yeah, possibly. Well, anyway, I kept hitting him and kept hitting him and kept hitting him, and then after a while I hit him a few times, and then I was saving it after I was doing that. Now that probably is cheating, isn't it? I wasn't really doing it in one go. But anyway, eventually, and with a great sense of pride, 45 minutes later, I managed to defeat the demon, and, well, I've never been happier. Except the end screen, not great. So we have a host of angels. We got 2 angels holding up this banner. Hallelujah, soldier of God. That's me, fully qualified. You have defeated the final foe and freed the city from his evil influence. May God bless you in all that you do. Well, thank you. But that's it. You just have to press escape and quit the game. So, why is this game so good? I don't understand why this game is so good, but it is so cheap. You should probably just try it out. According to Steam, it took me 6 hours to complete. Would I recommend this game to others? Yes, I would. I can't quite believe it, but it's a great game. God bless it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again soon.